back to a series of stories you'll see exclusively throughout the day here on NBC 10. We are shedding light on a topic that you or someone you know may be thinking about.
We have extraordinary access to one man's mission to finally feel comfortable in his own skin. And we take you inside the local hospital, seeing an increased number of people having gender confirmation surgery. NBC 10 reporter Rosemary Connors has a preview of Jude's journey.
A quest.
It's the first time for everything.
A journey.
Off we go.
A transition.
I know on the inside I feel different than how I am on the outside, but I've tried to do everything I could to be comfortable and present myself how I want to, and I can't anymore.
Only NBC 10 takes you through a man's transgender transformation.
Feeling real anxious.
Before,
Incision.
during, and after surgery. We're there as he sees himself for the first time.
To me, this just makes so much more sense.
Taking you inside the hospital and introducing you to the doctor who's performed more than 400 of these operations in 1 year.
It's not elective, it's not a choice. Patients are born in a body that they are not comfortable with.
All while documenting Jude's journey.
I've never been able to really be comfortable in my own body.
I'm Rosemary Connors, NBC 10 News.
And you can watch Jude's journey starting today at 4 o'clock and through tonight on NBC 10 News at 11.
Today, as the city of Philadelphia prepares to celebrate Transgender Day of Visibility, we're sharing the story of a person transitioning from female to male.
He allowed NBC 10 to follow his journey, giving us an in-depth look, an up-close one, at his life in an effort to raise awareness and help others who may be transitioning. NBC 10's Rosemary Connors introduces us to Jude.
All right, here we go. Drum roll. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Boom! Almost. That's not bad.
For many families, Sundays are sacred.
Lord, universe, thank you for this day.
Sharing a hearty meal over a light conversation is what parents crave.
I think that's a good idea.
Sandy and Louis Navas are no different.
We have so many things that are so important. Our children are healthy. They've both worked hard at school. They both have goals.
I'll ask a question.
Their youngest child, Jude, now 24 years old, grew up happy, but always felt something inside wasn't right.
If I wanted to just live my life easily, it would be easier for me if I felt comfortable in the body that I have.
Happy birthday, dear Judy.
Jude was born Judy.
Happy birthday.
The pictures from toddler to teen to 20s help to tell Jude's story of transition.
When did you start to feel this way, that you were male and that you wanted people to see you as a boy, as a man?
I think for me it's hard to think back to when I was very young. I know that I was never comfortable in pink and with my hair down.
Gender stereotypes tormented Jude, especially when it came to his physical appearance.
I was like, I still have long hair because girls are supposed to have long hair, but I don't like it. So maybe if I put it up, I'll be more comfortable and I'll still, look like a girl because I'm supposed to look like a girl. I'm supposed to act like a girl.
Did you understand it at the time?
Not beyond the fact of just feeling uncomfortable or that it wasn't right. I couldn't, because I didn't know what any of this was. I didn't know what it meant to be transgender.
Transgender, a word Jude's family embraces.
The very first time I started going she, ooh, he, oh, I'm sorry.
Jude, she was obsessing on it.
Jude, Mom, relax. You've been calling me Judy and she for 24 years.
Those pictures are great memories, but now we can make better memories with the happy place that he's in now.
Jude's older brother, Dan, can look back and see the gradual transformation.
I think it was all over time from when he was super little to now, so it's like none of it was a surprise, but I think this is the happiest I've seen him ever.
Yeah, I figured we'd do this first, go to the gym.
Friends from Stockton University, where Jude is in his final semester, support the change. Last year, he started taking testosterone and lifting weights in an effort to appear more masculine. His chest, though, has been a source of frustration.
I know that since I was a kid, ever since I developed and went through puberty, I was trying to ask my mom different ways that I could get my breasts removed. I was like, can I tell the doctor I have back pain?
Now, as an adult, he plans to do something about it.
Every week, I know that I'm becoming more of the person I want to be.
And for Jude, becoming that person means surgery. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we go into the operating room for unprecedented access as we follow the next step in Jude's journey. We'll meet the local surgeon who's become a medical leader in the transgender community. That's coming up at 5.
Welcome back. Tonight, we're telling the story of a young man raising awareness about what it means to be transgender.
Last hour, we introduced you to Jude. Now we are following him into the operating room as he takes the next step in his transition from female to male. All new at 5, NBC 10's Rosemary Connors explains why these surgeries are on the rise and how one local hospital has become a hub for transgender patients.
You blossom into who you're supposed to be.
With words of encouragement only a mother can give,
We're supposed to be comfortable in our own skin. That's what everybody wants.
Jude Navas is about to embark on a life-changing day. He has his parents and their support behind him. But first, a phone call.
I wish you could be here too.
To Jude's girlfriend in Texas.
I love you too.
Just before 6 in the morning, Jude and his parents arrive at Hahnemann University Hospital.
Surgical patients enter here.
Preparation before the mastectomy for chest masculinization surgery includes a pep talk.
I'm not even there yet and I'm shaking.
A picture. 2, 3. And a prayer.
Protect everyone in the OR and our baby. Amen.
Feeling real anxious, a little shaky.
Understandably, now the nerves set in.
And drift off to sleep, okay?
The woman in charge of the transformation is Kathy Rumer, one of the preeminent doctors in the field of gender-confirming surgery. Perhaps one of the busiest in the country, Dr. Rumer performs about 8 to 10 of these surgeries a week, operating on over 450 patients in a year's time.
I believe the reason that we're seeing the numbers growing is in the past, insurance was not covering the surgeries.
Dr. Rumer explains one of the factors an insurance company may consider to deem the surgery as medically necessary is when a patient provides documentation from at least one therapist, in some cases 2, confirming a diagnosis of gender dysphoria.
Patients suffering from gender dysphoria can harm themselves. There's a high suicide rate for patients with gender dysphoria who are not able to get their surgeries because of their own disdain for their bodies.
To the critics who might say this is elective surgery, what's your response?
I would have to say it's not elective, it's not a choice. Patients are born in a body that they are not comfortable with. They know it from early childhood. I've operated on patients in their 70s and 80s who have lived with this their entire lives.
Hahnemann University Hospital has become the regional hub for these operations, developing a transgender surgical program in 2016 and a fellowship training program this year, with Dr. Rumer at the helm of both so that more surgeons can learn the trade. The hospital's CEO calls the medical community's acceptance of transgender patients overdue.
We learn from the next generation, and I think that's what's happened. I think we've learned from them that these stigmas are phony.
And that the outcomes are real.
We send the patient home with a new life and a new outlook on life, and you don't get to do that often in healthcare.
You guys lift him up just a little bit.
The new lease on life comes with recovery.
You can lay him down.
Jude will have to wait a few weeks to see what it looks like underneath his bandages. Dr. Rumer is confident he'll be pleased.
I'm happy to say that in all of the surgeries that I've performed in over 10 years, we have not had a single patient with regret.
Rosemary Connors bringing incredible access with the cameras right there to understand what Jude is going through.
Yeah, looking inside the operating room. Wow.
Yeah. All right, we're going to find out how Jude is recovering next at 6. We're there with Jude as Dr. Rumer removes the bandages to reveal the transformation. The dramatic reveal, that's the next chapter in our series about Jude, a transgender patient sharing his story of transitioning from female to male.
Our cameras were there in the operating room, and now Jude takes us along with him as the bandages come off. NBC 10's Rosemary Connors has a closer look at the transformation.
It's easy to be excited, perhaps giddy, for a moment you thought would never arrive.
I'm just really eager right now.
Necessary is how Jude Navas describes this step in his transition from female to male.
Just just excited for you.
Jude and his girlfriend Rachel are waiting to see the reveal of a mastectomy for chest masculinization surgery.
Turn towards me.
For Jude, shedding the layers of clothing and bandages is like letting go.
I've never been able to really be comfortable in my own body. So I think that this is just gonna change everything.
You like that, baby?
Jude was born Judy, and through the smiles, struggled. Until now, his family supports the surgery and the man he is becoming.
Hey, how are you? Good. Look at that, muscle man.
Dr. Kathy Rumer, the surgeon behind the transformation, understands why patients like Jude have to see it to believe it.
You look great. Do you want to take a little look in the mirror? And remember, these are scabby right now, so they're not going to look fabulous. But they're going to be fabulous in the end.
Wow.
With tears in her eyes, Rachel is speechless, and Jude can't help but touch his new body.
You happy? Good. All right, you look great.
Can I hug you again?
You can.
Thank you. You look great. Thank you.
Jude and Rachel have plans. They're moving to California after they graduate from college in May.
Anyone I meet in May, I'll be like, my name is Jude, and that's it. That's all they'll know. So no one will know any different. And that to me is just seems so nice, just to finally go somewhere and be who I want to be and present how I want to present.
Rosemary Connors reporting on this for us, and stay with us for the final chapter in our journey with Jude.
Tonight at 11, we see how he's adapting to his new body and find out his plans for the future. Tomorrow, the world marks the Transgender Day of Visibility. Here in our area, we have the story of one young person who is transitioning from female to male. Jude allowed our cameras to follow his journey. And now, months later, NBC 10's Rosemary Connors shows us how he's adapting to a new body.
The pain of a tattoo is tolerable for 24-year-old Jude Navas.
Terrible?
I don't know.
Especially considering what his body has been through in the past few months.
Yeah, that'll work.
Jude had a mastectomy for chest masculinization surgery in December. Jude is transgender, transitioning from female to male.
For a sweet girl who's 2.
Images from childhood appear to show a carefree kid. But Jude, who was born Judy, says looks can be deceiving.
You would never catch me outside of my backyard pool doing that kind of thing.
In a swimsuit.
In a swimsuit,
hanging
yeah.
out, having fun.
Yeah, feeling comfortable.
Reflecting on those early years, Jude doesn't describe them as unhappy, but perhaps unsettling. They were filled with laughter and love, only Jude never felt like himself.
When I was younger, at least, not until a certain age, you don't even think about sexuality and you don't feel attractions and things like that until a certain age. So when I was under 12, 13, there's no way I could have even started to think about what it could have been that was making me uncomfortable with, people making me put dresses on or making me wear my hair down. I just knew I did not like it at all, and it made me so emotional.
The emotions were flowing when Jude saw the bandages come off in January following his surgery. Wow. His girlfriend Rachel was awestruck. Jude has always felt like a man on the inside. Now it shows on the outside, and others are taking notice. Recently, there was a guest speaker in one of Jude's classes at Stockton University who called on him.
And she points over towards me, and she's like, "What's your name, young man?" And I don't look because, I'm not used to responding to that. So I'm drinking my water, and I'm just like, me? Yeah.
Back at the tattoo parlor, the image Jude has chosen to mark this time in his life is fitting.
Thank you.
No problem.
The equality symbol, reflective of his journey as a member of the LGBT community.
Awesome.
As for the surgery, the hardest part of the recovery is over.
I feel good as new. I feel great. I go back to the gym. I can move around.
Do you feel like a new person?
I don't want to say I feel like a new person because I feel like I'm the same person, but I feel like a better version of myself.
And Jude recently learned he and his girlfriend Rachel have been selected for internships in California. That's the next step in Jude's journey following his graduation from college this spring.